All right. Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, whatever you identify as. Smut Swap coming in hot. Literally, because Brittany's been in a building all day that's 85 degrees.
And the humidity is down to 43%, but it was at like 62% humidity a couple days ago. And it's been draining the life out of me.
Great.
We
love it for you.
On Tuesday morning, I woke up and I was like, why am I nauseous?
Yeah.
My therapist was like, it's because you were dehydrated. And I was like...
She's like, drink some Propel.
I have been drinking hibiscus tea. And then I like my beverages chunky, which sounds disgusting, right?
No, it's okay.
I like a chunky beverage. And so I've been putting the aloe vera juices. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I like those. I like those chunky beverages.
I love them. I miss Japan for them. So we were at the commissary. We're not prisoners, okay? But we were at the commissary.
But we are.
And we were looking at the beverage aisle. And Corey was like, I'm not seeing them. And I was like, well, I hate to tell you this, but they're probably in the aisle labeled Oriental foods.
And they were.
And they were.
Yes.
And were. But I just thought it was crazy because I'm like, it's 2026. Why is it labeled Oriental food?
Yeah. I don't know.
Commissary, get it together.
I've seen them at gas stations before.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I bought one.
I like the mango one the best.
Yeah. I've only had it once.
I love it.
I'm sorry for looking around chaotically. I'm chewing gum, and I do not want to be chewing gum whilst on camera.
Well,
start over.
No, we're just going to keep going. What are you reading?
I am reading Caught Up by Liz Tom Ford.
Is
That's
that
the only book. I finished book 3 of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dungeon Crawler
Did I days out for 25%, maybe?
Whoops.
Because it's all the same over and over.
And yet she persists.
I don't know if I'll read the other ones, or if I do, I'm going to take a break.
How many books are there? 17?
I think right now there might be 8.
Oh.
Or the plan is to have 8.
Okay.
Either one. Tony, we know you know.
Yeah, Tony, we know you know. I'm holding the line firm, and I'm pretty sure that I haven't read a single book written by a man this year.
Really?
Pretty sure.
I've read a lot of books by men this year.
I hate that for you.
Especially in February.
I really hate
Black
that.
History Month.
I really hate that. Oh, okay, that's a lie.
I say especially. I think I read 2.
That is a lie, of course, because I have read like nonfiction by men, but most of my books have been written by women. Let's see. I'll let you know when I get to a man. February 1st. Yep, that's the only book that's been written by a man that I've read this year.
It's okay. It's fine.
And you know what?
I prefer Rimmon.
I prefer Rimmon also.
I can't speak anymore.
She's done. She's fired.
But you know what? I have one thing to say. Mm-hmm. Jessica, our employee of the month, Jessica. Do not play our podcast for your child. We are not appropriate for children.
Jessica!
I saw that Snapchat. I do not approve.
She sent a screenshot to me. I also don't approve. Sorry, my contacts are really dry, so I'm going to be rubbing my eyes out. In fact, I rubbed my eye so hard.
Rubbing them out real good.
I rubbed my eye so hard at work that this contact popped out. And thank God I stole Corey's contact solution because I had to put it back in.
It is pink.
And it burned.
Is it pollen?
I don't know. I think
is that why I sound like this?
I think it's the lack of humidity now in my office, and my body got so used to it that it was like, we're parched.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. I am reading Game Changer by Rachel Reed, and I did intend to try to do it for an episode, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Sorry, everyone.
But she's not sorry.
But I'm not sorry. It's not like the most revolutionary piece of literature I've ever read.
It's basically literature.
And well, he was like, and I worked with Maria, and it's great because she's smart and she's funny too. And I'm like, and she's like, so that's cool. And I'm like, oh no.
You're like, that's it?
Oh,
that's all the depth we get?
Oh no. Anyway, speaking of classy pieces of literature, let's dive in.
Let's do this.
Much to Melody's disappointment, I read a book called Unhinged, but no, it's not the Door book.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is this the Door?
It's not the Door. This book is by Steph Macca, and it is supposed to be a reverse harem. But I will say one thing. There was no harem in this book.
What?
And I was like let down because I need to
We need group sex, okay?
I need group sex. I can't get off without group sex.
God damn it.
Just kidding. But anyway, so this book is called Unhinged, and we're going to just dive in with the first chapter, told from an unknown character's point of view, who tells us that sometimes you need to cut ties with people, and sometimes those ties are arteries. Don't read over my shoulder.
Oh, sorry. I'm literally just looking at a blur because I cannot see from here.
I also can barely see.
I need glasses.
I should probably wear my glasses right now and not my contacts. This character, I don't want you to get any spoilers.
Okay. I'll stare at myself in the cameras.
That's fine. Look at the dick.
We're spiraling. Sorry.
We haven't seen each other in a while. Since last Saturday. And we weren't alone last Saturday. One of our other friends joined us. So
yes.
It wasn't just the Kelly and Brittany show.
I had to go through my Rolodex of memories. I'm like, what did we do?
What did we do? Well, we learned a lot of things.
Lots.
We talked about my left lip falling out my underwear.
Pat, you know. Oh, yeah, your lip.
My lip.
The lip slip.
The lip slap. This is why you tune in, right?
Just for this.
Sorry, Tony and Dominic and Patrick.
I don't think you can leave it at that.
I climbed a tree to rescue my cat, and I was straddling the branch, and it jammed my underwear so far up my coos that my lip flipped out.
All right, you happy?
Yeah, are you happy?
You heard it here first.
You know too much about me. Bring back secrets. Don't be parasocial and weird. Anyway.
And scene.
The world is not black and white, and it's many shades of fucked up. People believe what they want to believe, and the few who know their full story view this individual as a hero. And I'm like, okay, cool. This person tells us they are not a hero, and they won't pretend to be. They also don't believe in labels, but for all intents and purposes, so many people see them as the villain, so they're going to be the fucking villain. Oh.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to touch my eye. That's so much better.
We'll zoom on that.
Yeah, we will. This one has astigmatism, so I have the weighted lens in there, and it twisted when I rubbed my eye. But now I can see perfectly.
Oh, great.
All right, so our next chapter introduces our female main character, Avery, who's being whisked away to a facility that's basically a step up from a juvenile detention facility. They're not juveniles. I just want to get that out of the way right now.
So, jail.
Kind of, but it's also rehab. It's called the Lilydale Foundation Center. Avery is at Lilydale because a judge sentenced her here after she, apparently, killed somebody. She's displeased that she has to be here and points it out to everyone around her, to include her caseworker, whose name is Margaret, who even went the extra mile to play hairstylist for Avery on this day and gave her like this beautiful braid.
Oh.
She has to make a good first impression. Avery tells the individual who appears to be the director of the facility that she views this place as a tax write-off for the wealthy, and he's quick to point out that they've had many a success story come from Lilydale. Then he tells her to make sure that she reads her handbook, and someone will come collect her from her room for her psychiatry appointment in about an hour. He definitely also points out that the male and female inmates, are housed separately for obvious reasons. And I'm pointing it out because I'm sure it's going to be important for later. And is.
Okay.
I put ? Because I don't know what else to call these individuals, because the way the room is set up that she's in, it's very prison-like. It has like the toilet in the room, and like her bed is nailed to the floor. Her desk is nailed to the floor. Her chair is like, well, not nailed, but like bolted to the floor, so she can't move anything. It's prison. Okay.
There's a term but we'll cut that out. We talk about something like this, and there's a word that they use that would be perfect, and I can't think of what it is.
Good thing you read your instructions.
I know. I read it often, actually.
Wow. She can't remember. Anyway.
And seen for real.
Our girl is in her psychiatry appointment, and this is where we learn that she has been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and PTSD. The psychiatrist believes that these diagnoses are what led to the events which brought Avery to Lilydale. She plays dumb because everyone's asked her the same question, and she's like...
Institutionalized.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. She asks if Dr. Smith means, she's like, oh, do you mean my father's death? Like heavy on the sarcasm. Oh, do you mean my father's death is the reason? Like my mental health issues are the reasons for my father's death, which he doesn't acknowledge because he's like, we're not going to entertain this. Instead, he asks about her mother and if she'd rather talk about her. I promise you will learn everything.
There's a lot.
We are just building up, but you will learn everything. He tells her that she's going to be required to see him 3 times a week for the duration of her stay at Lilydale and suggests that they ease into these discussions since she's going to be here for a while. There is no end date on when she will be released from this institution. We have a little time jump to orientation with a fellow patient, inmate, student, whatever you want to call them, whose name is Vivian. And Vivian's explaining to Avery more about Lilydale. As they're talking, another inmate approaches with a very bad attitude, wanting to know what Avery did to land herself here. Avery jokes that curiosity killed the cat and points out it's a good thing that this inmate isn't a cat, which seems to only agitate this person further. Vivian speaks quietly with this person before returning to Avery to let her know that this particular inmate has bipolar disorder and was set to be released, but she found out that her brother took his own life in the outside world, which sent her into a mental health spiral that sealed the deal on her not being released early. Through Vivian, we also learn that the guys and gals are allowed to socialize, but if one person gets caught doing something wrong, then every single person in the facility is punished with extra work of some sort, or like they get sent to their rooms and they're locked in there, or their free time is taken away. Okay. As they're talking, this guy knocks into them, telling them to watch where they're going. Vivian informs Avery that this dude's name is Theo, and he's bad news bears. Apparently, he got in trouble recently for breaking someone's nose and eye socket, so he's kind of a psycho.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. We also learned, everybody here is crazy, by the way, so
I mean, it checks out.
Unsurprising.
Yeah.
We also learned that the only reason Aves was able to land a spot at this prestigious institute is because someone died. Vivian's like, you're lucky that someone died, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And it's like, oh, okay. So now we're at a physical health appointment for Avery. We learn that our girl had to have a skin graft and has major scar tissue on her back because someone stabbed her with a broken beer bottle in her back. She also had the skin graft like on her arm. So she has like major scarring on her arm.
Oof.
She's also a chronic pain sufferer. The doctor tells her that he will speak with a psychiatrist about some form of like antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication to see if that will help manage the pain because he thinks that her mental health could also play a part in why she's feeling in pain all the time.
Got it.
And I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. And then talk shifts a little bit to birth control, which pisses Avery off for some reason. And she ends up leaving before they can end the discussion of birth control. And I was like, all right, noted. She's escorted back to her room and informed someone will be there in about 2 hours to escort her to class because they also have classes for these inmates because most of them haven't graduated from high school. In class, the teacher, whose name is Charmaine, passes out a general like knowledge test, much to the agony of the other students in this class who groan aloud at having to take a test. This is for the benefit of learning Avery's baseline. The whole time, this one young man, whose name is Gray, is trying to get Avery's attention. I don't recall much of Gray's like defining features. He has gray eyes and wears black nail polish.
Got it.
That's all that I remember. He tries talking to her. He throws things at her. He simply stares at her. None of it's working. She's able to like mostly ignore because Charmaine's like, Gray, leave her alone. Gray, knock it off. Gray, eyes up here. Eyes on your own test. You know,
leave her alone.
Leave her alone, Gray. Down, boy.
Wait, how old are these people?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we get there.
And my brain is going to high school.
Yeah, I know. Mine was too, but I promise they're not in high school.
Okay.
After class is finished, Charmaine collects the tests and sends the group along their way. Gray gets a hold of Avery's arm in the hallway, which causes her to yelp, and the guards kind of start to step in. She's able to get away from him and find Vivian again, who's the only other person that she knows in the crowd of people. Viv asks her if she's surviving. She's like, barely. And then sarcastically laughs, saying, well, this should be good then. So at this point, they're all kind of crowded in this area. This guy stands up on a table and kind of yells something about free time beginning and for no one to fuck it up. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Vivian and her girls are pressed up against this wall, but Avery's standing in front of them. So she gets like knocked on the ground and absolutely trampled by all these people who are trying to like rush off because they're able to go outside to the courtyard and like go off into like open classrooms for their free time. They're not like really contained. Ultimately, she's saved by a nameless man. He basically drags her off to the library where he proceeds to give her another orientation of sorts. Oh, and Gray also happens to be in the library as well.
He just randomly is giving her an orientation?
Yeah, he's like, we run this place. You need to learn to control your emotions. And she's like, okay, ...
Okay, this seems unwarranted.
He explains that none of the staff here really care what the inmates do. This is a money-making scheme that they're running and that he runs the show. We learn from Gray that this man's name is Damon, and Damon tells Avery that there is a certain way things are done around here. Outside of the basic schedule issued by Lilydale, everything else is expected to be run through these guys. There's like 4 of them. He tells her that if she ever needs a detailed breakdown of the system, that it will be the last thing she ever learns, which leaves her both confused and terrified.
She's like, oh, what?
And she's like, so you're going to kill me?
I thought I was here for help.
I thought I was here to get help, not get murdered. So she turns around to ask them a question, but they've already left her alone in the library where they brought her to begin with. And she realizes, oh my God, I might actually be in trouble.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. When free time is over, the same guy who announced not to fuck things up is standing on the table again. But this time he's like signaling numbers on the table. And she's like, okay, like what is happening?
Okay, but what does it mean?
What does it mean? Then this voice whispers in her ear that she is group 3. She's like,
thanks.
She's like, okay, so the guy is up there and he was just holding up 2 fingers and she's like, okay, so 3 is going to be next. She's like bracing to start walking. So she's surprised when he signals 5 next.
Okay.
So it's Gray, of course, who told her that you're group 3. Mm-hmm. And Gray continues to watch her as she notices Theo walking in the direction of all the other inmates. Gray tells her that Theo is off limits and she's like, oh, so you can control who I look at too? And he's like, that's not what I was referring to, but I could.
Wow, that's a lot.
She tells him that she has no intent of engaging with anyone, to which he replies, we'll see, little killer. Everyone has urges. And yes, he's nicknamed her already, Little Killer. After they're corralled back into their rooms, it's prison shower time. It's not open bay like normal shower.
I'm imagining like Navy boot camp.
Yeah, not Navy boot camp showers, okay? You have... there's like a wall, but like your head's obviously above it and like it cuts off at your knees.
So it's like Big Brother shower.
Yeah. So the only really true defining feature that standed out, I'm going to kill myself.
It's okay.
So that stood out.
It's been a week, y'all.
The only thing that stood out to me is that the whole ceiling is covered in flowers.
What?
Yeah, like suspended from the ceiling, a garden.
In the shower?
In the showers. So she showers and when she leaves, she just smells like roses.
These are real flowers?
Real flowers.
What the fuck is this place? Things that don't make sense.
It's a charity tax write-off for the wealthy, so I guess they can do whatever the fuck they want in there, except for feed them decent food, which we'll get to. Okay.
This is crazy.
All right, it's crazy. So they have 5 minutes to shower, and then they're escorted back to their rooms before dinner. And Avery's like, okay, well, I have really long hair. I don't know how I'm going to wash my hair in 5 minutes, but I guess we'll do it. Whatever. Sure. I guess. She's also weirded out that she has to shower and then eat dinner. And I was like, okay, well.
Calm down.
There
are worse things.
You are in
showering and eating.
And you get to shower alone. And no one's trying to be like, don't drop the soap. You know? All right, so after she's done showering, we're in the dining hall. Avery is disappointed to see that the spread is unsauced pasta, bland vegetables, and dry ash chicken. She looks at the chicken and she's like, that's going to be a no from me, dog, because it looks like it is gray.
Ew.
She's like, I'm not going to get food poisoning. Then when she has her food, she like looks around the room and sees that every single table is almost full and everyone is glaring at her. And she's like, don't know where I'm going to go.
She's like, this is great.
So she like finds the only table in there that's like almost empty. And she's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to sit there. And it's Theo's table.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
So she's got her clean spaghetti and her bland veggies.
Her clean spaghetti, bland veggies, and a psychopath dining mate.
What more could you want?
Nothing. Everyone continues to stare at her, and she like walks up to him and she's like, can I sit here? He's really rude about it. But
seat's taken.
He's kind of rude, but he doesn't really tell her no. So she's like, okay. She sits down and she like starts quietly eating. But I almost DNF'd the book at this point because she's like, at least he didn't yeet me out of here.
Yeet? No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I hate to tell you this, it was used 2 other times in this book.
Was this written by a Gen Zer?
It might have been. All right, so we're at the
Do they also say Cybao? Have you heard that?
No.
What
is that?
The acronym for shut your bitch ass up. Well, the kids say it all the time.
First of all, don't be a little bitch and say it. Shut your bitch ass up.
They'll be like, Cybao.
No, shut your bitch ass up. Say it with your chest. Don't be scared. What are you scared of?
I'm just saying. It sounds like it was written by a millennial.
Well, it was probably.
I mean,
how dare you lump us in
Gen
with that?
Zer, my bad. Excuse me.
By the way, did anybody see that TikTok of the girl who was like, millennials, I'm going to start a boot camp for you so that you can learn social media etiquette. Listen here, bitch. I was there when it was written.
I've seen snippets, but I have not given it the brain power to watch. I've just
cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. I was there before Google, my love.
We had Ask Jeeves, all right? Come on now.
And what was the map? MapQuest.
We had to print directions. Anyway. Or read an actual map.
Literally. Moving on swiftly to Avery's psychiatry appointment, where the psychiatrist tries to get her to talk about how she finds the facility to be. He asks her to tell him what she finds most annoying, and she opens up a lot more than she planned in this instance. She goes through the motions of her day, and at sleep time, she swears she hears people, not guards, walking around after hours, but determines that she's actually certifiably insane. You are, girl.
That's why you're here.
That's why you're here. In class, Gray ignores her, and she's like, oh, thank God. She's finally learning the ropes here, and so she like shrinks into a corner before free time commences to avoid the stampede. There is actually not a stampede this time. Damon's the one who's climbing up on the table and demanding that everyone clear out except someone whose last name is Hallman. Sorry. Hallman. I wrote Hellman, but his name is Hallman. His first name is Sam. So Avery's like, okay, well, since everybody got to clear out, Vivian told me that nobody goes into the library, so I'm just going to go in there. I'll be alone. I don't have to be around people. It'll be cool. She's hiding out. This is where she's imagining a life where she isn't here. But it's short-lived because soon enough, there are people walking into the library and she's like, ah, shit. So she tries to like stuff herself onto a shelf, like a bookshelf and hide.
It's off limits, right? So she shouldn't be in there?
She's not supposed to be in there.
Okay.
And tries not to panic as she's hiding herself on this shelf as she hears flesh hitting flesh.
Oh.
So Hallman apparently
knocking.
Hallman was issued one too many warnings and is now getting his ass kicked.
Oh, I thought somebody was getting down and dirty.
No one was getting their freak on quite yet. Gray enters the scene and she's glad to realize and she realizes that this is why he didn't pay attention to her in class today. He's been so focused on beating the shit out of Hallman. So they have the guy, Hallman, in the library, and Damon is beating him up, while 2 other guys, whose names are Louis and Mark, hold on to him. Gray wants a turn. He tells Hallman to basically kiss his feet and makes him crawl on his hands and knees before Hallman pretty much just like ends up sucking on his big toe.
No!
Yeah!
Eat that right out of here.
And Damon's like, oh, you fucking nasty. So Kelly's Damon. He hates it. He's like, that's enough. That's really enough. I've seen enough, you vile bitch.
That's
so Gray takes advantage of the angle of the toe sucking to kick this guy in the throat away from him. Now, you're probably thinking this is extreme, and you would be right. Apparently, Hallman's crime is that he fucked somebody.
How dare you?
Without permission from this quad of people. Whatever. One does not simply fuck in Lilydale without permission, obviously. Now, when Gray kicks him, Hallman flies pretty far back into the library, and Gray notices that something has caught his eye, and he's like, noted. I'll check it out in a little bit.
She's like peeking and like waving at him.
Her legs are just sticking out, so she can't see anything. It's just her legs.
Yeah.
After the toe sucking debacle, the 3 guys leave Gray and Hallman behind. Gray makes another threat to Hallman, basically telling him he has 3 seconds to get out or his dick is going into a blender.
Oh.
He notes that Hallman looks like he, quote, fucks like a goldfish on carpet. He does move very quickly, though. Once
we're picturing it.
Just like flopping around. He does move very quickly, though, when he has motive.
Okay.
Once he's, because who wants their dick in a blender?
No, not me.
Not me. I just don't. Once he's gone, Gray approaches the stacks where he finds a pair of feminine legs poking out. Yes, feminine legs. They're feminine legs. He grabs an ankle and pulls, and there's Avery.
She's like, hey.
She's like, tee, hi.
What's up?
She goes through a myriad of emotion, but ultimately lands on distress. Gray talks to her about her being a good girl and is super smug when he notices that his praise does something to her.
No. Stop it. Ew.
He's very astute and notes that whatever's been done to her to land her in Lilydale, it probably has something to do with her parents. Go away.
We all have our issues.
I don't know what just happened.
It always does that.
I know. I think I accidentally hit this. What the fuck? I don't even know where I'm typing. So anyway, they agree to keep this little meeting a secret from Damon, and he tells her that she's free to spend the rest of free time in the library, though she might want to delay entry in the future to make sure the coast is clear. But if she wants to chat, she knows where to find him. He decides he has to go before Damon notices that he's been gone for too long and that he won't be mentioning this little tryst to Damon. Damon isn't forgiving, and Gray would hate to have to explain that he's staking his claim on Avery. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we just met, but okay, whatever you like, sir.
Sure.
Avery's barely making it through and literally has made no friends, unless you count Gray. She does, however, continue to take her meals at Theo's table. This particular day, she's finished eating some vile mashed potato dish. When she goes to stand up, she bumps into Sam, aka Hallman. He's pissed that she's bumped into him. She's positive at this point that he saw her in the library. And so what he does is he basically takes the leftover mashed potatoes and like scoops them off and throws them on the floor and like wipes them on her, makes a huge mess before berating her for walking into him. He tells her to clean up the mess before walking through the potatoes and spreading them further across the floor. And she's like, all right, well, fuck me, I guess.
Fuck me, I guess.
It's not until the siren blares, signaling the end of mealtime, that she unfreezes, cleans up the best she can, and goes to class covered in mashed potato.
Gross.
She's grateful for her pre-dinner shower to wash the remains of her lunch off her. When she returns to her room, she finds that everything's in place, but something's different. Someone has left a rose on her desk, and with the rose, a bloody, severed finger. She panics. How did this get here? So she panics and wraps it in toilet paper from her little powder room that's attached to her bedroom and hides it under her mattress before walking to dinner like nothing happened.
She's like, well, no one will know.
She writes a note to Gray asking him to meet her in the library, where she's like, did you put a finger in my room? He's like,
what's with the finger?
He's like, if I were to pay you a visit, it would be to see you and not leave Beijing. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. Not leave
appendages?
An appendage. To not leave an appendage. She thinks it's got to be Damon, but Gray's like, no, that's not his style. Damon's more into psychological warfare. He's like, just flush it down the shitter. She's like, I'm not going to do that. I don't even flush my tampons down the shitter.
I'm not trying to stop this thing
I'm not trying to plug this thing up.
Have you seen the signs?
And then they find the finger in my toilet, and they're like, whose finger is that? And I don't know. When she seems appalled, he tells her that he'll take care of it, but she will, in fact, owe him after.
She's like, I didn't do this.
She's like, I literally didn't do anything. I thought that I could get this to go away, but I can't even move it now. How did we get it to go away before? Like that. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Like that. Just like that. Okay, so in the next chapter, Gray meets with Damon. They smoke a contraband cigarette and discuss the missing finger.
Yeah, Damon contraband cigarette and finger.
Everything is fine here, I guess.
Everything is contraband.
Everything is contraband. Okay, so Damon is quick to figure out that the friend Gray is speaking about is Avery. They talk a little about an upcoming meeting and how Hallman is banned and they'll need to replace him. And don't ask me what it's about because we don't know. Damon also gives the okay for Gray to scope out a replacement for Hallman. It takes Gray over an hour to find Hallman, and once he does, it's in the infirmary. Obviously, Hallman is the person with the missing finger. Gray kicks him out of the group and then is like, who chopped your finger off? Playing on Hallman's opioid addiction and lack of pain relief to convince him to give up the name. And the name that he gives up is Ashwood. Theo Ashwood, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Gray tells us this wasn't on his bingo card as he passes the pill that he used to bribe over to Hallman, reminding him, now you owe me one too. After he leaves the infirmary, he makes his way to Avery's room where he finds the finger and the flower that Theo left. Gray seems worried that he's not the only one who's vying for Avery's attention, pointing out that Theo doesn't let people sit with him. That is, until Avery. And once again, we're in the dining hall, this time with actually edible and not moldy-looking mac and cheese on the menu. Avery approaches Gray to thank him for solving the little finger problem, and he simply beams at this. Damon is less than enthused. Once she's offered her thanks, she joins Theo at their normal table in a super good mood. She engages in conversation with him, and he actually talks back. Ultimately, he ends up making a comment about cutting off problems, and she realizes that it was him who cut off the finger.
She's like, gasp.
She's like, was you? You did that for little old me?
But why though?
All right, then the siren's blaring again to signal the end of mealtime before she has time to process the information.
Of course.
During Charmaine's class, Gray scooches his desk closer to Avery to pester her. She asks if the library will be available during free time, and he's like, yeah, it will today. She decides that this is where she's going to go, seeking out her exact same hiding spot from several chapters ago.
Her little legs, her little feminine legs sticking out.
He grabs her ankle again. Shortly after arriving to the library, Gray comes in, and she assumes that he's here to collect what he's owed. He tells her that he wants to play a game, and the game is, of course, 20 questions. She asks about the finger, and he confirms that he removed it. He's like, what's your favorite color? And she's like, the fuck kind of question is that? And he's like, we'll get to the deep stuff later. And she's like, well, fine, I guess purple then. She's like, how did you get the scar that's on your neck? And he's like, it's from when my dad tried to slit my throat during a schizophrenic episode.
Oh, wow.
All casual. She's like, He tells her that's everyone's reaction. She asks why Gray is in this facility and not his father. And he's like, well, he could be here, but he's dead. And it's implied, of course, that Gray killed him.
Okay.
Gray then asks why Avery flinched when he tried to touch her leg. Nothing further is elaborated. The first half of this chapter, Avery is back with the psychiatrist talking about friendship and trust. She claims not to have made any friends or trust anyone. The second half of the chapter has our girl figuring out that she's not going to the library for free time. She ends up wandering the hall, trying to find a place to go where she won't be surrounded by people, when suddenly a door opens and a scrawny guy is like crashing out and nearly running into her, and then she hears Theo being like, and go away and stay out. Peeks her head around the corner, and he realizes that she's staring at him, so he's like, what, you can't get enough of me at meal times? She's like, I was just trying to avoid people. And then she notices that he's sitting in this room tattooing himself.
Just normal manly things.
He's like, can you just close the door? And she's so jarred that she closes the door while she's still inside of the room. He's like, okay.
Is he like tattooing his stick?
No.
Writing her name?
Just his arm. No.
This is my next prize.
It's like stick and poke.
He's like, what?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's like, you could stay, but you can't annoy me. And so she tries to sit quietly, but she ends up like tapping her fingers like over and over again. And he's like, okay, you know what? You're annoying me. Come over here. You're going to take over tattooing me.
He's like, give me that finger.
He's like, here's the needle. So she tattoos him. She kind of opens up about how she always wanted to get a tattoo, and he makes fun of her for being just like all the other girls who want to get like a butterfly tattoo. And she's like, I didn't really get a chance to think about what I would want. I just wanted it to cover up the scar on my arm.
I always wanted a butterfly tattoo.
Well, you're
from Son-in-Law. Do you remember that movie?
Nope. I don't think I've ever seen it.
How dare you?
No.
Pat, I know you know. Tony, you too.
Well, I don't watch movies.
It's old. Like when you were a baby.
Well, that's probably why. Because the movies that I watched when I was
All right, we'll watch it together.
The movies that I watched when I was like 8 were like From Dusk Till Dawn and Blade.
Oh, God.
With my aunt and uncle. Because they were like teenagers when I was a kid. So they'd be like, yeah, Brittany can come stay over. Let's traumatize her.
Why not?
Here's this movie about the Tooth Fairy called Darkness Falls that will traumatize her for life.
Forever.
Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I don't think so. Was it about the Tooth Fairy?
Yes. Oh. And she's evil.
Nope.
Pat, do you know what I'm talking about? You love horror. Tony, let us know in the comments. Darkness Falls? Okay, so she takes over tattooing him. She opens up about how she wants a tattoo. She tells him that she would rather have gotten something to cover up her scars. This is when he reaches over. She has this bandage on her arm that she keeps, and he like starts to unravel it. And once it's fully off, he sees that she has those burn scars. He asks her about them, and she tells us that she feels the walls that she had started to let down slam back up. And she kind of just answers his questions in a monotone voice before very quickly picking her bandage up off the ground, rewrapping her arm, and fleeing the scene.
Wow.
When she gets back to her room, there's a lily that's got like red tips on it, and she realizes that it's been painted with blood. With the lily is a note that tells her to be ready to go after lights out, and she knows who it's from because the person who wrote it addressed her as Little Killer. So Gray manages to get into her room, and he takes her to the library where there's this meeting going on. There's about 20 people milling around, and we learn that this happens once every couple of weeks. Damon manages to get food and alcohol, and it really looks like a party in the library. They go over the rules, and then Gray shows her around. They have all of these curtains up, and she notices that there's one red curtain in the sea of black, and she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "That's the exhibitionist area." And she's like, "The what?
For what?
For what?" So he's like, "Okay, come on, I'll show you what I mean." So they go inside, and there are 3 people in there. 2 of them are doing the nasty against the wall, and one is like by herself in the throes of pleasure.
Just finger blasting?
Okay, nope.
Oh.
So you remember the book that I read that had glory holes?
Yes.
And there was a female glory hole?
Yes. There's a female glory hole?
Glory hole!
Okay, I thought it was exhibitionist.
Yeah.
That seems like the opposite.
It does, but you know what? Maybe it's exhibitionist because the other 2 people are in there doing it while she's getting it from the glory hole.
Thrills of pleasure.
You know what? It's a glory hole, and that's all that matters.
That's all she wrote, literally.
That's all she wrote. And then I lost my spot because my stupid pen fell. All right.
Some bitch.
Some bitch. All right. Gray removes Avery from the room, and they go into one of the black curtain areas to speak privately with each other. Avery once again tells him, that she doesn't have urges, and he questions what that means, asking her how old she is, and the answer is 20, and if she's ever had sex before. He's able to glean from her that reaction that the sex that she has had was not consensual. She allows him to see a little bit of vulnerability, and shortly thereafter, they're like making out in this little curtained off area. Once she's decided that she needs air more than she needs him, yes, that's a direct quote from the book, she thanks him. Sorry, I had to translate. And then they decide to go enjoy more of the food that Damon was able to scrounge up.
Thank you for making out with me.
Thank you for making out with me. Now let's go get some strawberries. Avery has a medical appointment with the normal doctor, not the shrink, where he tries to convince her once again to go on the anti-anxiety medication and tells her that he will give her long-term pain relief to help with the pain from the burns and the wound in her back. She tells him once again that she does not wish to go on the anti-anxiety medication because she's not anxious, and then she leaves the clinic. As she's walking with a guard away from the clinic, she sees Vivian, who lunges at her, clawing her face and screaming obscenities at her.
Wow.
Avery's really confused about what this is about because she hasn't even talked to Vivian since her first week here. Once the guard drags Vivian away, Avery speaks with Siobhan, that's the bipolar woman, who tells her that this is because of the boyfriend. Apparently, the boyfriend, aka Hallman, is going through withdrawal, and Avery's to blame for that, as well as the missing finger. So she denies having anything to do with this, and Siobhan says, "You might not have done anything, but your hound dogs did, and now Vivian's out for blood.
You're connected, and it's your fault.
Get your hound dogs off." The one thing about the way the punishments are set up here is that if somebody messes up, everybody's punished. So everyone's sent to their rooms and then called into the dining hall for an impromptu speech from the head of the facility, who tells them that because of this fight, they're all being sentenced to 3 days in their rooms. No free time, no dining hall meal time, no school. The meals are going to be delivered to their rooms. They will be alone at all times. The only time that they are going to be around other individuals is when they are sent to the showers.
Okay.
Everyone can clearly tell that Avery was involved in this because she has the claw marks on her face. So everyone's looking at her angrily, including the head of this facility. And she's like, I literally didn't do anything. I was attacked. What do you mean?
Come on.
What do you mean? So they're escorted to their rooms and doused in darkness. No one gets lunch. And when dinner is served, Avery tells us that it smells rancid.
Oh.
Showers are after this. And because they've switched to evening meal and shower time, it's given them time to mess with the temperature gauges of the showers. So Avery ends up taking a freezing cold shower, which results in her sprinting back to her room to dive under her blankets to try to get warm. And she's like, this is really fucked up.
Wow, it's like psychological warfare.
Literally. So Gray and Damon rendezvous in Damon's room during the lockdown, where Damon gives him the business for bringing Avery to their meeting without vetting her first. Gray tells Damon that Avery needs family and will do anything they need her to do if they give her that family. Damon seems reluctant, but still seems to trust Gray's judgment in this. Once he leaves Damon's room, he makes his way back to Avery. He still has a key card because you have to have a key card and a code to get everywhere here. So he has the key card that will get him into Avery's room. Charmaine is the one who gave it to him, by the way.
Got it.
Once he's inside, he's like, hey, we should talk about the kiss, which she apologizes for before they end up in a rather compromising horizontal position. And he's like, I'd like to touch you. And she's like, you already are. And
wait, so she's apologizing for the kiss and then they end up
horizontal.
Horizontal. Got it.
And he's like, I want to touch you. And she's like, but you already are. And he's like, I want to touch you here, whilst tapping the front of her shorts. And she's like, you know what? Sure.
Show me where exactly.
Show me where on the doll you've been touched. He talks her through it. So he talks her through everything. He tells her what he's going to do before he does it. Like, I'm taking off your shorts. Now I'm going to take off your underwear. Once she's Winnie the Poohing it up in her bed. I forgot I wrote that. Once she's Winnie the Poohing it up in her bed, he waits for her to beg before sticking his tongue in her coos. Once she's finished, he tells us that now that he's tasted her and heard the sounds that she makes when her world is falling apart in the best way, she's mine.
Pen for dramatic effect. If you're watching on YouTube.
Or Spotify, because the video is on Spotify.
My bad.
It's fine. In the next chapter, we have everybody coming out of their confinement. Damon is standing on the table and announces that the director of the program has offered free time back, so everybody has 2 hours to themselves upon release from their solitary confinement. Gray finds Avery and tells her to come to the library with him, where he tells her that he wants to do more things with her if she's comfortable, and she tells him that she might be comfortable. But they end up playing 20 questions again instead of getting their freak on.
Boring.
We find out that Gray has been at the facility for the last 26 months and some odd change. We also learn that there's a very strict selection process and that Avery did not just land a spot here because one opened up. Gray asks her about her home life, and she tells him that her father was really abusive and her mom was okay, but she also struggled with depression, so she's no longer with us. She finds out that Gray became Damon's right-hand man by completing some tasks for him. Gray also tells her that Damon helped to keep him out of trouble when he first arrived, and she tells him that she finds it really hard to believe that he'd stay out of trouble. And he's like, oh, I'm full of trouble, little killer, the best kind.
Little killer.
All right, now we enter Damon's perspective, who's taking us to see the head of the facility to bitch about the fact that they were placed in isolation for 3 days over something as small as a cat fight. Because the last time everybody was punished, it was over somebody literally getting stabbed, and they only had free time taken away for a day, not total isolation. The head of the facility basically tells him to remember his place in the facility as an inmate. I'm the boss, not you. Remember where you are. After he leaves the head's office, he goes over to psychiatry to speak with his cousin, Dr. Christopher. So the psychiatrist is Damon's cousin.
Oh, how's that work?
It's a family business. Damon remembers a time when Christopher would fuck girls on his parents' dining room table, but now he's a whole-ass doctor. Damon tries to convince his cousin to allow him access to medical records, which Christopher staunchly refuses, and then sends Damon on his way because free time is almost over. Damon's like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'll take free time whenever I want free time.
Do what I want.
As Damon walks down the hall, he sees Avery and Gray coming out of the library together. He asks Gray for a chance to speak with Avery, and one of the guards that's shepherding everyone off to their rooms allows for Avery and Damon to have their little meeting, in which Damon threatens to kill Avery if she hurts Gray. After her little talk with Damon, Avery decides that for her free time today, she's going to seek out Theo. He's in the same room that he was in before, giving himself more tattoo. She promises that she won't bother him. She just wants to be away from people. And he's like, what, am I not people? And she's like, clams up a little bit. But he's like, I'm just messing with you. Yes, you can sit in here. It's totally fine. She's really quiet, and he notices because he's like, normally you'd be talking my ear off. And she starts to like fiddle with the bandage again, talking about how it's old, and he grabs her arm, takes the bandage off, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to tattoo over your scar now. And she's like, and I'm going to let you.
Here you are.
Don't worry, he has another needle. He's not using the same needle that he is poking himself with. There's no cross-contamination here. He finds a stopping point and tells her what to expect from the tattoo. She seems a little alarmed to find it will scab over, and he's like, well, beauty's pain, and then tells her that he'll see her at dinner. As she's leaving the room that she and Theo were in and entering the hallway, she sees Gray leaving the library, and he winks at her before they head to their respective rooms. Whenever Avery gets back to her room, she finds another note that's signed with the letters DEAD, requesting for her to join them at a meeting tonight at 9. Gray comes to collect her, and he's like, yeah, that note was from Damon, and in this meeting, there's only going to be about 10 people, with Damon requesting updates from each of the different individuals for various tasks that he's assigned to them. At the end, he tells Avery that he needs her to steal from Dr. Christopher in her session tomorrow. Specifically, he needs her to steal the key that will grant them access to Christopher's files, because remember, Christopher said, I'm not going to give you just access to the files. So she doesn't think that Damon's serious, and he tells her that he is so serious. So she tells him that she can't do this because it's not ethical, and it will be a problem for her. And he's like, well, I don't give a rat's ass if it's going to be a problem for you. You need to do it. She asks him for a compromise, and he's like, oh, sweetheart, I don't do compromise. You're going to do what I told you to do. So she either has to get the key or she has to steal the doctor's laptop. There's no in between for Damon. Gray offers to do it instead, but Damon is like, nope, Avery has to be the one to do this. And Gray is like, nothing I can do. My hands are tied. I agree. In her session, she sees the file cabinet that they were talking about and looks at it no less than 6 times, at which point the doctor finally points out that she's been looking at it no less than 6 times and asks her if she needs the key before he just hands it to her. He asks her about how her confinement went, and she tells him that it was fine before he hands the key over, but it's like the key was the main point, and I was surprised that he just handed it over all willy-nilly to her, but that's besides the point. During lunch, Avery walks over to Damon's table, slams the key down before joining Theo at their table. He also notices that she's in a terrible mood and makes a joke about it, so she gets up from the table, goes over to the guard, and is like, I want to go back to my room. And he's like, you cannot go back to your room during mealtime. You have to stay here. And she was like, fine, then I need to go to the doctor because my period started. And unless you want to deal with the massacre that's going to be in here, you better let me go to the doctor. So
let me go or else.
He walks her down to the doctor. And the doctor is like really catering to women with their problems. So he gives her a heating pad and lets her stay in his office for the rest of the lunch hour.
Wow,
and he
nice.
even is so nice that he gives her a leave of absence from her class and professional appointments so that she can go lay down in her room for the rest of the day.
Dang.
Granted, the door has to be locked, but like she's like, at least I'm unsupervised.
Yeah.
She's like, this is all a win for me. Due to lack of sleep the night before, she does end up falling asleep and is awoken to a hand over her mouth and Gray's voice being like, calm down, it's just me. And he's like, you need to come with me right now. We have an emergency. He leads her to the library, and in the library, the emergency is that he is desperate to show her this shiv that he made. And she was like, okay, what's so pressing about this? Are you going to kill me?
It's beautiful.
He was like, did Damon send you to kill me because of the slight that I gave him at lunch? And Gray's like, I've never been more turned on in my whole life than watching you challenge Damon. He tells her that she's had a very stressful day and he's here to help relieve that stress. And she finally starts to believe that he's not actually here to kill her. Can you hit that? Mm-hmm. So he asks her if he could help her relieve her stress, and she nods. So he finger blasts her until she climaxes before he drops to his knees and uses the handle of the shiv to... So he's holding the sharp end, and it's jammed up there.
It's jammed up there, ladies and gents.
Until she climaxes again.
On the handle?
On the handle. Josh?
I know. I was like, Josh, is that you?
Hello?
Hello? Are the lights out?
Where's your mask, Gray? Yes, he licks his fingers.
Batman voice?
I've gone blind.
Sorry.
Sorry. I love that book so much.
You know what's funny? I had a memory show up. Did you see it?
No.
It was emailed to our Smut Swap email, and it was a memory of us talking about Lights Out.
I love Lights Out.
From a year ago.
I love
so happy anniversary, Lights Out.
Happy anniversary, Lights Out. You got us a lot of followers.
I loved it.
Okay, so yes, Gray licks his fingers. Yes, he licks the shiv handle. Yes, they make out for hours afterward.
No, we do not know the cleanliness level of that handle.
It's probably vile. It's probably just like germs galore.
It's icky. She's getting a yeasty after this.
Her pH is all out of whack. Also, they mentioned like multiple times that she wears a skirt, but I swear to God, she was issued like gray sweatpants. So, like a gray sweatsuit. So I'm like, she just like cut it into a skirt?
She's just wearing whatever she wants.
Literally. Anyway, he tells her the next time something is inside of her, it will be him. Also, because he's holding up the sharp end of the shiv while he's jamming it up into her, she does feel like a drop of blood fall onto her bare foot. And I don't know why. I don't know why I thought it was so important to add that, but I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
The key that Avery was able to get from the doctor is a fake. And Damon knows this because Gray snuck into the office last night and tried to unlock it and it didn't work. So Damon is confronting the doctor yet again about why and how Avery happened upon the fake key. Christopher tells Damon that though the key may have been fake, one of the files is missing, but he won't tell Damon whose file is missing. Damon tells Christopher to remember his place before leaving to go confront Avery. When he confronts Avery, she's sitting with Theo in the dining hall once again, so he walks up to their table, slams his hands down, and tells her that he needs to speak with her privately before basically berating her about the key being fake.
I'm mad.
I'm angry. Let me punch some drywall. She tells him that she didn't realize that it was a fake and tells him that Christopher basically just handed the key over, which prompts him to ask if she's fucking the doctor. So she slaps him in his face.
Ooh.
He tells her that he's not to be messed with, nor the people that he's closest to, referencing her being with Theo and how this could potentially hurt Gray. He then tells her that he's not done with her and she needs to watch herself because he's the big bad wolf in here and she should be afraid. And then he turns around and walks out.
Dramatic.
Literally. I'm like, you fucking drama queen. Gray hands Avery a note in class asking her to join him for free time, and she nods at him to agree. Once their free time is over, he brushes his hand across her back and she feels a jolt of electricity. And she's like, is this what normal people who aren't damaged by their father feel when they're around somebody that they like?
What's that?
Yes, that's what it feels like to have a crush, girl. As they make their way into the area where they're released for free time, she sees Damon, but there's a whole bunch of papers all over the place, plastered on the walls, all over the floors. And she's like, what's that? So Gray tells her, I'm going to go check. You're good. I'm going to go check with Damon to see what's going on because nobody's really moving. They're all just standing still. When she sees Gray up with Damon, curiosity gets the best of her, so she picks up a piece of paper off the ground and she reads her own file.
Oh.
It outlines who she is, how old she is, what she did to land herself in Lilydale, and a whole bunch of other super personal information like her diagnoses and all that jazz. So she's mortified and she's looking around, seeing that everybody's staring at her. She's literally frozen in terror and or embarrassment, so she can't move. In her fog, she hears somebody telling her to come with them, and she blindly follows. Obviously, it's Theo who tells her to get up and walk, or he's throwing her over his shoulder to get her away from all these people. He ends up breaking one of the keypads that you have to swipe the card through to gain access so that they can make their way down a whole bunch of stairs, and it seems like he takes her into a morgue because he's like, you afraid of dead people? So obviously they did go into a morgue and they talk a little bit about how she's feeling, how what she did doesn't even scratch the surface of how awful the things that some of these people have done to earn their place at Lilydale. Then he tells her that he's killed someone and took pleasure in watching them draw their last breath and he would do it again.
Wow.
He tells her that he is exactly who people say he is and she would do best to stay away from him. And she's like, but you're different with me. You're different with me. I'm not like other girls. I could change you. I could change you. At this point, they start to hear noises from outside of the morgue. And so Theo tells her that they should climb inside one of the mortuary cabinets. where they store the bodies, and she's very clearly not wanting to do this, but he's like, you either hide from them or you get caught.
I saw your review.
I marked it with spoilers so that you wouldn't read it.
Well, I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Sorry.
I didn't read anything else. Sorry.
So you get it? Okay, so he tells her that you either get in here or you get caught. So she tries to open up the other cabinet, but she can't get it. So he like grabs a hold of her waist and pulls her into the same cabinet as him. And yes, he shuts them both inside of this box, basically. So they hear the guards come in, and they do a really shit job looking for these two. Like, they don't even open up the boxes. They're like,
looks clear.
Oh, looks clear. They're not in here. Before they go look elsewhere for the escapees. Once they're gone, Avery's like got her face buried in Theo's chest so that she doesn't like scream out loud. She starts blabbering, and Theo can think of only one thing to do to shut her up, so he kisses her.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Something about a stick.
Things are really heating up, and he tells her that they have to stop, and she's like, I've had a really shit day. I've lost control. This is my way of taking it back, and I want you to fuck me.
Oh, gosh.
And so that's exactly what he does. Yes, they are still inside of the mortuary cabinet. So basically, she rides him for a little bit, and then when he feels her start to slow down and tire out, he takes over. Somehow, she's able to climax from penetration alone, and I was like, you know what? Good for her.
Love that for her.
Good for her. Like, she's literally only ever had non-consensual sex, but she can come from penetration only?
Great.
And her 20-year-old body must be nice. Once they're done.
Moving on.
From our duress. Sorry. They get out of the box, and he tells...
a lot.
This is so fun, though.
I'm like wheezing.
I hope they all can hear the wheezing in Kelly's microphone. So they get out of the box, and he's like, you're going to go back the way that we came, because the guards have to find somebody, so I'm going to give myself up for the guards to find.
How romantic.
And though she doesn't necessarily want this to happen, she does have enough self-preservation to do what he says. It should be noted that I'm pretty sure this young lady declined birth control because she did not feel the need for it. So hopefully her raw dog and Theo in this chapter doesn't cause any issues down the line.
Hopefully they pulled out. They. When I say they, I mean he.
He didn't.
Oh. Well.
I don't know what the hell that was. We find out that Gray has been. Okay, I don't know.
It's fine.
Whatever. I don't know what Gray was doing.
He was doing something.
So obviously they catch Theo. They find Avery in the room where she and Theo go to tattoo each other. They bring her to Dr. Smith's office and try to coerce a confession out of her because they found Theo out of bounds. And there are several eyewitness reports that there were 2 students going out of bounds, not just the one, so they know Theo's taking the fall for her. She won't confirm to them that she was with Theo and says that she wants some sort of say in what happens when they find out who leaked her file, because they've pointed out that they're doing this investigation to figure out who it was. Mm-hmm. They also tell her that she won't be in trouble if she basically just throws Theo under the bus, and she's like, I'm not going to do that.
She's like, who's Theo?
Theo? Never heard of her. So she goes back to her room. She's laying in her bed. Gray comes in, climbs under her blankets with her, once again calling her little killer, which she hates. And he tells her that the reason he calls her this is because he knew when he first met her that she would kill him and he would love it. Okay. She comes close to confessing that she fucked Theo in the morgue. But she does not. He's like, we can talk later. They've been called for a meeting with Damon once again. So they're in the library. There's only like 5 people this time. 2 of the people are working on essentially hacking the camera system to make it so that the administrators can't get in and see who took the file. Avery tells Damon that she'd like a say in what happens to the person who stole her file. Once again, repeat conversation, and distributed it across campus. And he's like, I'll take that into consideration. She tells him that this wouldn't have happened if he wasn't trying to stick his nose into everyone's business. And he says for Gray to control his girlfriend before returning his attention back to one of the hackers and telling her to let him know once they have the footage, and dismissing everyone to go have a snack before they go back to their room. All roads lead back to the library. Avery and Gray are once again in the library together. Don't ask me what they talk about because it was overshadowed by them finally getting down and dirty. He basically lifts her up, pins her against the bookshelves, and she's like, take care of me, and then they go to town. Books are flying off the shelves, falling onto the ground, shirts are being ripped off, titties are hanging out. She climaxes while he's like holding her up in the air this whole time. I'm like, damn, to be young.
Damn.
I'm tired just walking upstairs.
Tired walking downstairs sometimes.
Gray does pull out, and he drops her to hit her knees, and he's like, you're going to taste me now, before he busts in her mouth.
Oh.
He's like, swallow it, every last drop. And she's like, I'm not repulsed because it's him.
The other man, I would be repulsed.
Like, oh, okay. Okay. At this point, Damon walks in and tells Gray to hurry up, finish fucking, because he needs to speak with him. Avery's embarrassed, and
Hurry up.
Gray's like, don't worry about Damon. And then he leaves her to go figure out what the hell Damon needs. She's been looking for Theo, who's been MIA, and so she looks outside because it's a really nice day. And this is when Hallman, Mr. Missing Finger Hallman, got my finger chopped off by Theo, approaches her, and he's like, hey, you're not welcome out here. She tries to turn back around, but this dude's clearly on a bender or a spiral or something, because he tells her that she can't go back inside and tries to grab her arm. I'm like, so you want her to go away and she can't be outside, but she's also not allowed to go back inside? Okay.
Make up your mind, you crazy.
She tries to push him away, and he goes to punch her, but he's tackled to the ground, and there's Theo.
There he is.
She pulls Theo away from him and gives him a big hug, and then the chapter ends. So the hacker, her name's Jillian, she was able to get into the camera system, and she pulls up the footage of who was in Dr. Smith's office the night that Avery's file was leaked, and it is none other than Vivian. Apparently, she found the key just like lying on the floor in the office, which infuriates Damon because Gray didn't look around the office to search for the key. He just tried the key that they had and assumed that it was the real key and didn't bother to look when he realized that it wasn't the real key.
Okay.
Because, you're supposed to just know to look for the real key. Jillian also has footage of Theo and Avery in the morgue, and he has her isolate all of this footage because he's like, I'm going to show Gray later. And he certainly does show Gray, who is livid, storms out of Damon's bedroom in search of Vivian. When he finds her, he grabs her by the throat and demands to know why she leaked the file. And she's like, it was supposed to just be a prank.
What the heck?
Okay. Damon thinks to himself how people don't consider the consequences of their actions and how they can negatively impact everyone around them, and how her actions drove Avery into another man's arms. He sends Gray to Avery's room and tells him that he's going to go look for Theo and Hallman. And then I said, oh my God, this book is ridiculous. Gray enters Avery's room, and she immediately clocks that he's not soft and warm Gray. This is the Gray who landed himself in this institution. She also immediately knows that he knows.
Uh-oh.
So she confesses about Theo. He loses his shit.
Oh, no.
In the midst of his meltdown, Avery magically comes to the realization that she loves this man, even though she's been in here for like less than a month. But who am I to judge?
It's okay. Love is love.
Sure, it's not Stockholm Syndrome.
It's love.
So she tells him that she loves him, and she sees him suffering for like half a second before his wall slams back up, and he's like, I loved you too, but not anymore.
Oh my gosh.
In her head, she hears her father's voice talking about how she fucked everything up just like she always does, and then she's left alone in her room because Damon has come to retrieve Gray. Okay. Damon tells her to stay away from them. She's been revoked as a member of their little secret society, and if she comes near Gray again, he'll make sure she knows why Gray calls him Dead Man, because that's what his nickname is for Gray.
Dead Man?
Dead Man and Little Killer. She's left alone in her room for hours before her door swings open once again, and it's the head of the institute there to drag her down to the dining facility for dinner. Theo's at their usual table, so she sits down with him. The head of the institute tells them that enough is enough, and that incidents like what happened today will not happen again before he leaves. She talks to Theo a little bit, and he tells her everything was fine. Oops. He engaged in extracurricular activities until it was time to come down for dinner, and so now here he is. Someone approaches from behind, and she thinks that it's Gray, but it is not, in fact, him. It's Hallman, who's there to apologize to her for the way that he treated her. She's a little shocked when she looks at him and doesn't really have a chance to respond before he's turning and walking away. When she turns back to Theo, she whispers to him, "What the fuck did you do?" Because when she looked at Hallman, what she saw was Theo's like fist imprint tattooed on the man's face.
What? What the heck?
I said, because on Hallman's face is the imprint of Theo's fist, parentheses, tattooed version.
Oh my gosh.
So Avery spends the class period being completely ignored by Gray. And when she approaches him to try to talk following him into the library, they come to this agreement that they should just stay clear of each other because of how badly Avery has hurt Gray's little man feelings by sleeping with someone who wasn't him, even though they weren't together. As she exits the library, she hears a blood-curdling scream and sees Vivian lying on the ground. So she asks Siobhan what happened, and Siobhan tells her that she just found out that her boyfriend, aka Hallman, is dead via suicide. Everyone's talking about it. People said that he was strangled in his bed sheets, and they don't believe that it was a suicide. Avery approaches Theo in the hallway and asks him if he's aware of what happened, and he tells her yes, but that's when they see some policemen in the hallway. The head of the institute points toward where Avery and Theo are standing. Theo says to Avery, "Do not say a word," as the policemen approach them. She's certain that Theo is going to be arrested for murdering Hallman, so imagine her surprise when they ask her if she's Avery and then place her under arrest for the murder of Samuel Hallman.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And if you liked that, there's another book, and I'll probably be reading it, so that I can tell you about it.
One?
I liked it. It was so fun.
Good.
So I gave it 3.25 stars for my rating. It was a 5 out of 10 for horniness because I just felt like only the boys were horny.
But when she was in the throes, she was getting it.
She was. I said, for me personally, Avery went from being a sexual assault victim to a vixen a little too quick, like for me. It was tough for me to believe that she would simply sleep with Theo after only having conversations with him before Gray, because she and Gray were already experimenting sexually.
Yeah.
And it was like, it takes a lot for people to be comfortable with people, and if you're already experimenting with someone sexually, it just wasn't plausible in my mind. Okay,
yeah, I get it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Didn't make sense to her.
It didn't make sense to me, but they were. It's a short book, and so I will probably read the next one. And if you don't want to hear it, that's too bad. You don't have to tune in, but I am going to talk about it.
Yeah,
and that's all I wrote. So I hope that you enjoyed Unhinged by Steph Macca. Stay tuned soon for Echoes by Steph Macca. Also, we need to discuss the live show, the next live show.
Yeah.
When do you want to do it?
I have softball the next 3 weekends.
Ooh.
However, depending on how the games go on Saturdays, we could do a Sunday. It just depends on how it goes. So we could do a Sunday evening.
We can do that. I have my kids this weekend and next weekend. Do you want to do like maybe the weekend of May 1st?
Yeah, that should be fine.
All right.
That should
I think it's the 3rd.
The Sunday.
Yep.
She has softball. Matthew has his Eagle Scout ceremony, but that's at noon.
Okay.
So it should be fine.
Dang, that bee just flew into the window
I
so hard. Okay, so the live show will be on May 3rd. Time to be announced. Tune in on Twitch or TikTok, wherever you catch your live streams.
Wherever you feel.
Wherever you feel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, you stupid bitches, because...
Yeah, on everything.
Yeah.
Like us on Spotify, like us on TikTok, like us on YouTube. We have Fable, the Smut Clurb.
Yep, join us on the Smut Clurb. We'll be changing the book to Game On soon.
I'm halfway through caught up, I think.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I loved it.
It's such a fun...
Spoiler alert, I loved it. And yeah, Kelly's going to go check on her daughter, and I'm going to go find something to eat because I'm hungry. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.